good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. A beautiful day here in Hollandale Beach. You can see the main track is going to start off as good. We've got the Tapeta. That turf course is coming around, and we've got Samantha Perry back with us as well. So we'll welcome her back in. Good to see you.
You as well, and great work while I was away.
We tried.
Yeah.
Claudia and I, we try. So happy to have her back. And, of course, on an 8-race card today, the Rainbow Six kicks off in race number 3. And while you were gone, there wasn't a lot going on in the Rainbow, and that means we've got a $175 in there, so it's getting big.
It is, and it'll just continue to grow as well, especially on Saturdays. We see a lot of money go into that. And like you say, today on 8-race cards, it's just horizontal or vertical galores.
Horizontals all across the
all
board
across.
there, yeah. And big card tomorrow as well with a couple stakes, and we ran some last week too. So a lot of excitement. We've got the Princess Rooney just around the corner.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about that in the lightning round. But 8 of them for you today, and let's get into it. The early pick 5 kicks off in race number 1. And as I mentioned, we're going to start out with a good main track, but the crew here does such a good job. And here's my early pick 5. I didn't have a lot going on here. I took some low-hanging fruit as my best bet. It was kind of a tribute as we welcome you back.
Hey, there you go. I saw it, full Nelson,
okay,
right?
There we go. Yeah, full Nelson. Little Juanito is back and on the drop. I've got him on top. Didn't love the pick. Cajun Asp in race 3. We'll show you a video there. There's full Nelson, the old low-hanging fruit. Going to be a very short number in race 4. And I'm right back with nothing but pumps, and we'll show you why, because he's very, very good on the drop, getting to Tapeta last time, and I don't think this is a world beater group here for 20, so I'll come right back to it, but it's a $12 early pick 5. Let's get into the opener now. 6 furlongs on a good main track, but like I said, I think we're in a good spot here.
Yeah.
No pun intended. These are the 2-year-old fillies who tagged $25,000 in this maiden claimer. We do scratch the 2 out of here. Field of Blossoms. We both land on a very logical horse in Gervin's Princess.
Yeah, and I think you probably saw what I did, Brian, is the race was much better than it looks on paper for this filly here. Kathleen O'Connell, she does a great job with everything that she does, but first-time starters is kind of something that is not a huge one, sample size, and 2, just very high strike rate. But second starts a little bit better, and I think that this filly on the class drop is still, even if she would have put her back in maiden special weight, I still think that she ran much better than it looks on paper.
Well, absolutely. She's got to be favored in here. I don't know why she isn't, because Kozem, the 8 horse, you don't have her in the mix at all. I've got her well down. She's never run on the dirt.
Right.
And this is a big drop for Gervin's Princess. You've got the 4 Jazzin in here. Firster for Ruben Sierra. Barn has had such a good year. A little cold to start the Sunshine Meet.
It has been, but I guess it doesn't really worry too much, because you look at the Royal Palm Meet and they just... Yeah. He runs a lot of horses in spots where, 1, they can take him, or 2, just very aggressive spots. And they've been sitting on this horse since late May, whenever she had her first recorded work here. I'm not a huge fan of Handsome Mike's first time out, but still, John Rivera, his 2 wins, they were sneaky good moves, and he's had some good hit-the-board finishes as well that I think the weight break, it will help in a field like this.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. He does a very good job using that weight allowance. He's got to kind of break races open. The 3 Castellana makes sense on the MSW drop as well. Better beginning wouldn't hurt her either.
No.
We got a stat. Let's take a look at a stat, though. I didn't want to overlook this. Ramon Miguet's got the 8, Kozem, who we mentioned here. This is a barn that's quietly had a very, very good year. Yeah. Dirt sprint. So this horse maybe can play a little bit. But, you see the Tapeta races, and they were solid. Don't get me wrong. But now we're trying dirt, and some of these horses already have that, and some of these horses are dropping as well. But this is a barn that I think now we're well over half the year here, and this is a barn that's had a very, very strong 2023. Let's get to race 2 now, 5.5 on the Tapeta here. These are 3-year-olds and up. The tag is 10 down to 8, and early pick 4 time, and you've got it.
I do indeed, and let's hope to make it a winning one. I didn't have a very strong opinion kind of in this earlier sequence. This race we'll get to in just a moment. In race number 3, the 1 on top for me, it is my long shot. I bet with the scratch now it won't be so much more of an average shot. Race 4, the 2 on top, Red Abario on the class drop. Race number 5, just too deep with the 3 Wicklow Gal on top for me with Ron Spatz, but I also have our Awesome Sauce as well. I'm sure that horse will be favored. $18 the play. And your old buddy, Little Juanito, back.
Back, but not on your ticket.
No.
So we'll start with you.
Yeah.
Ladies first. The 6.
Yep.
Never satisfied.
Yeah, I think that this is a horse that I like the 2 Tapeta races. When you go back to those spots there, it was a win, and then it was a 5th place finish. It was just an open company. Back in the same type of level today. The last race at Delaware, that produced another next out winner. And actually, it's interesting because Victor Barboza has the 6 and the 4. They're both coming out of that same race here. I almost wondered if maybe he was going to scratch one, almost wanted to make the race go. But I think both of them stack up quite well in this spot. And again, you saw on my ticket, they're coming out of the same race. They're kind of a similar horse. I'm not going to get beat by the other Victor Barboza.
You used the 4 over the 6 because the 4 has a little more speed. I worried about the 6 dropping out of it a little bit.
That could happen, yep.
I put Little Juanito on top. I don't trust him, and it's another reason why I also used the 6 in my ticket.
Yep.
He's just way better than these if he's okay. And,
exactly.
He didn't run last time, and that's a worry. But you look at the group he was facing with Uncle B and Hope and him, and those
tough company.
Tough company.
Yeah.
He's got huge Tapeta races. He's admittedly been good to me. I'll give him one more try, but it'll be interesting to see what we get from Little Juanito.
Yeah, he
today.
just was. I didn't feel like if I added him to my ticket, I just felt like I needed to take a stand a little bit with him. And you can add him if you want, and he can win this race. He's probably the likeliest winner. He's the classiest guy of them all, but he was so unusually flat last time that it kind of worries me. And the drop, not so much. He's running for 10, but he's 9 years old. He doesn't have anything to prove to anybody anymore. He is what he is. And this is a big drop, but this is a barn that I'm not going to be surprised if he wins. If you want to add him, do it.
And they claimed him for $62.50, so
exactly. They've done very well with him.
They're out in spades with this horse, so maybe it's time to get a win. And if somebody wants to claim him, we move on. And if not, hey, we'll run him back again. And it's running for $22,000 here. It's not chump change. So
exactly.
It's a good score if he wins and they gets claimed, even if he doesn't. So he's in a good spot. We'll just see. I think we're going to know a lot more about Little Juanito after race number 2 than what we know going
exactly.
in.
Yeah. Lots of questions.
2 down, 6 to go. We'll take a little break here on Gulfstream today. And when we come back, Rainbow 6 time in race number 3. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
My racehorse has opened up a door for people that felt like that door would have never been opened for them.
We can all be owners and we can all get that excitement.
You can meet your horse through the different experiences and all of the events that My Racehorse puts together. You get that hands-on connection.
Whether you have $50 or $500, everyone that joins My Racehorse gets that experience of a lifetime.
I love My Racehorse. Let's go.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. Beautiful day here in Hollandale Beach. We've got 8 of them for you. Big weekend as well. A couple stakes tomorrow. Hope to see you out here. And, of course, the Rainbow 6 in race number 3 here. $175,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee. I know you were out of town last week, but guess what? They went over the gross jackpot guarantee quite comfortably in those days.
They usually do.
Take a look at my ticket here, $28.80. There was a scratch. Very clean card today. Pete's upstairs.
Yep.
Not a lot to do. We like that. Very clean card today. I mentioned the best bet. We've talked about the first 3 races. Let's look at the last 3 races. The 6th, I've got the 6 Bella Future on top. I'll show you a replay there. Race number 7, I come back with Surrogate, I guess. So you know my thing. He's by Arrogate, but he's Surrogate. And then in race number 8, this to the 7 horse, Uncaptured Tiger. I'm trying to see where my long shot is. Long shot is, we'll get to that in a second. So it's a $28.80 ticket here, and we'll kick it off here in race number 3. These are 12.5 maiden claimers, the 2-year-olds here, going 5.5 on a main track that starts out as good today. But again, I think
by that time it might be.
If
we keep it like this,
yeah, we might be fast by 12:50 in the PM here. Well, we both have the one on top, so let's show it here because this is a horse that did not have a clean, fair go of it. On debut, and we're going to show that to you here. He is the one horse, so that could be a problem again today. You're going to see the slow break here right out of the picture. He's actually going to check out of it again, and this was the old there. Now watch out the head on, too, is when it really kind of comes into focus, and he's going to get put back in there. So this is the old there off, you lose kind of angle, and that's it. You know, we've talked about this. The horse was 6-1, by the way. Took some money in a full field. I don't like the rail again. But second-time starter, we get a lot of improvement, and hopefully we break running today.
Exactly. And what I like is they didn't really waste any time with him either. Just 19 days, wheel him back in, no work in between.
Right.
He only came into that race, his debut, with 3 recorded works. And for Mike Yates, you don't typically see that too much. So I think this horse fitness-wise will be probably where he needs to be a little bit more. Now, the race fitness is just so much more important. And, the rail might be that's unfortunate that he draws the rail again. But I can imagine that Mike Yates, he knows how to get these sprinters ready. So I think we'll see big improvement.
Yeah, he was never going to be close to 6-1 anyway. But now with the 7, Bianca Luna, I mean, you look at this race, he's the only horse you can play, to me. I mean, okay, no problem. Joe is in the mix. He's 0 for 5, and he's starting to give us that feel of a lifetime maiden. You look at the 3, Kingy, he's 0 for 6. You can't play those horses, at least in the win pool.
No, you can't. The thing with No Problem Joe, though, I will say with him and why I did put him on my ticket is the fact that he's going to get hopefully a fast dirt track for the first time, and that could maybe on debut it was a very, very sloppy track. That's hard to handle. And then he was on the Tapeta. Now I admittedly I've played him. I've signed the divorce papers with old Joe here, but still, maybe.
Lionel gets back on Kingy. Lionel got going last week while you were out, so take note of that. He's been, I mean, we knew it was just a matter of time, one of the best we have here. And this was a good effort for Kingy when Lionel was aboard 2 back, so I think that's a positive. But, I mean, the only horse with upside, I think is our horse.
The post will be the biggest problem for him.
Post is the only problem. If we can break running, I think all bets are off, and he's in a good spot, put it that way. Okay, race 4. Now, this is late pick 5. You were not tied to full Nelson, I think. So we'll take a look at your ticket, and then we'll get into this race a little bit. Yeah,
we'll take a look at it here. And not tied to full Nelson, as Brian mentioned. We'll get to this in just a second. Race 5, the 3 on top, Wicklow Gal for me and Ron Spatz. Race 6, the 3, Infamous No-No. This is actually my best bet of the day, which it's oddly higher odds than my long shot, but that's all right. Race 7, the 1 on top, Lights of Broadway for Pete Walder. And in the finale today, the 2 first-time starter for Victor Barboza, Lazarone. And $27 play for me. And if we get to see full Nelson back after he's been trying many things, scratched 2 weeks ago as well.
Yeah, I get it. Well, you talk first about Reda Barrio because this is you're going to get fair value at least because Phil Nelson might be 2 to 5 in this race.
Yeah, I think so. Reda Barrio, I love the Flameaways. They particularly have been quite strong first time out, and I did have some interest in him last time, but I think he just needed the race more than anything. That winner, Grandmo the First, came back to win for Victor Barboza in an impressive fashion. I think that this might be a little bit of a stronger race than it looks. I know Catch a Tiger for DJ Stable is just kind of so-so, but this was this horse's first time start. Now they're dropping him in for the claiming tag here. He's drawn well. I think that this is a horse that can improve off of that effort, and I just don't trust full Nelson.
Is that the horse, Grand Mo, that Victor's taken out to Santa Anita?
Correct.
Okay, with eyes on hopefully the Breeders' Cup juvenile turf. Okay, so that's a good race.
It is.
Listen, I get it. I could not come up with a real strong best bet today, so I took this one here. Not going to pad the stats much. He's supposed to win. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I put my comments on this horse was he could probably run his worst race and still win this one. That's that's what it is. But I think it kind of comes down to is I don't think he wants to win. I don't know. I'm curious.
You know, that's fair. He's had chances. There's things that don't bother me. He's a homebred.
Right.
And he's by Lord Nelson. So they paid 10 to breed to Lord Nelson. There's nothing there. He's in for 35 today. And I just kind of wonder if at the end of the day he is a $35,000
I think so. Because 2 weeks ago he was entered, I believe it was for $25,000 and scratched.
Right.
So that kind of draws me away a little bit for it as well, from him as well. I mean, if you're just going to pick holes, I mean, Savvy Joseph does a lot of things right. So
yeah, and you're at 2 to 5, you're allowed to pick holes.
Right.
You know, at 8 to 1, you don't have to worry about it. But at 2 to 5, you're allowed to pick holes, and he's a single on all my tickets. So I get it. I mean, if you can beat this horse, all your tickets, your value.
Yeah, it'll be double.
Go up exponentially. There's no doubt about that. Sam Perodu, the drop won't hurt him either.
No, and blinkers go on, too. This horse was nothing special, I think, in the eyes of Antonio Sano from the beginning. I mean, nothing special in the sense of he's a maiden claiming horse. Antonio Sano does a great job of spotting his horses right where they need to be, especially these maidens. If they're maiden claimer, trust him. They're maiden claimers, and they tried him just a little stronger last out. Yeah, we'll see. Blinkers go on. I don't know, sharper maybe.
Yeah, I will say this. For 35, this is a pretty decent group.
For the level.
Yeah, I mean, there's
agree.
a lot of droppers in here, so we'll see what we get. Late pick 4 in race number 5. We'll go a mile and 70 on the Tapeta fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. These are 2 L's for 20 in here, and I'm going to lead it off with nothing but pumps, just because we've got the replay. We don't need to show the ticket; it's a run back, and I'll tweet it out and all that good stuff. Let's bring up the replay, guys, of nothing but pumps. It's 12-5 maiden claimer. I get it. But this horse was good. This horse is a 6, and we're going to loop this entire field. Not even in your picture right now, by the way.
Yeah, which is hard to do.
It is hard to do, and she didn't beat anything. I get it. But watch this move she makes here. You don't see this often on the Tapeta to do a sustained move like that, and she's going to end up winning by a half a length, and this is hard to do. And she basically went from last to first, in an eighth of a mile or so. The waters get deeper in here, but I like the fact that Antonio bumps her to 20, too.
That's interesting.
You could run her for 62.50. You could run her for 8, but here she is for 20.
Yeah, you don't really win like that. And I know you picked her last time, and I was kind of against her, but you were right on the money. You said it. These are the kind of races Antonio Sano wins. And
she was like the overlay of the month at 2 to 1. She was supposed to be 3 to 5 in that race off the drop. It's behind her now, so take a little shot. It's a group she can play with against winners. I mean, I've got the 3 in the mix. Wicklow Gal, she didn't. I know it was her 35, but boy, she didn't do any running last time.
No, she didn't. But we see horses like this time and time again on the Tapeta. They cycle back around. You go back to her race 2 starts back. She tried really hard, and I almost wonder if that kind of had her rebounding a little bit. Yeah, because she ran her eyeballs out last time trying to get to This Is It, and This Is It had been facing way stronger competition, and I just think that this is a filly that's just going to cycle back around here.
No, I could see it, and if she runs her race, the rest of these are in trouble. Our awesome sauce, the better. It's Safi, it's Lionel. I get it, but she has no margin for error in here facing winners for the first time.
Yeah, it's going to might be a little tough for her. Yeah,
I mean, both my horse and the 6 have to improve if they want to get to Wicklow Gal's best race if she runs that race. Race number 6, we're 5.5 on the Tapeta. State bred optional claimer in here. We do scratch out to 7, Awesome Crusader, which hurts me in terms of a value because it's my long shot Bella Future. But we'll start with you. Infamous No-No got it done for John Vincent. Has had a very good year. Yeah. Anything John brings over is so live.
Yeah. Actually, this is my long shot. Okay. We're dueling long shots, but again, our prices, I think, are a little off with this. Yeah. Bucheros, I can't say enough good things about them on the Tapeta. They have been running very, very well on this surface. Now, this horse won the hard way here at Tampa. And that was his very first race, broke from the just 2 spots away from the outside, or 3 spots, pardon me. And Jose Ferrer, this is a veteran rider. This is also a rider that I'm very familiar with just watching him from being at Monmouth Park. He sends a lot of horses
Yeah.
to the front. The fact that he was on this horse, I'm sure he was thinking at the break, I've got no shot here. And you look at the replay, the horse really brought him there. So the fact that you look at Jose Ferrer and he came from off the pace to win on a first-time starter, I think this horse, yeah, I get it. Where have you been lately? But getting on the Tapeta here, this could be interesting.
Yeah, I do trip notes at Tampa for their races, and you don't win races like that on going
Right.
5.5
Exactly.
on the dirt. This horse is not in for a tag. A guy that spots his horses, as we said, anything John leads over here are very, very live. So definitely take note of this horse. Let's check out Bella Future. We've got the replay here.
Yeah.
This is my long shot today. Yes, she's 0 for 7 on the Tapeta. I get it. But this is at Colonial last time. And watch her trying to come up through the inside here. She's the one horse, kind of just getting shuffled here. And this is a spot here at Colonial. You're not going to win turf races from there either. And she's going to end up being 5th by a quarter. Doesn't have a really kind of fair, clean go of it up the inside. Got some run here. And now we're kind of steadying a little bit. We're idling a little bit. And she's only going to get beaten about a length and a quarter here. And I don't know if she was going to win this race, Samantha. She would have been a lot closer. Even right there a few seconds ago, she didn't necessarily have it to her credit.
Right.
She sifts through down on the inside. It's even going to get, I don't think she loved coming up through here. You can kind of see her right now.
Exactly. Yep.
Hesitating a little bit. The 7's checking out of it. I thought this was a pretty good run. Yes, she's 0 for 7 on Tapeta, but this is Laura Cesaris, and she has good races on Tapeta.
Yeah, she does. And you look at that race from Colonial, that competition, the allowance races there on the turf, they're tough.
Yep.
Very tough. Much stronger than she's going to be facing here.
Yeah, I agree. And so I can kind of be a little forgiving about that 0 for 7 mark on the Tapeta because she's going to be like your horse. How about Commandant? Got going nowhere. And Dave Browdy pops him on the Tapeta, and night and day new horse. And you always say, trying something new might be their best effort.
Yeah, and he did it impressively. And now he draws in one more spot closer with the scratch of the 7, Awesome Crusader. He'll have to bring it back. I don't know what we'll get from him today, but he might be tough, just kind of sitting and pounce on the rest of the field.
You know, we've seen, I'm not going to tell you he's volcanic, but we've seen these horses that are going nowhere get to the Tapeta, and they've got a new lease on life. That race was so much better than anything Commandant's ever done. So, you know, and you might get a hint of value on him right back.
Right.
So we'll see. The scratch does hurt any of the prices. So race 7, late double time, $1.70 on the Tapeta. These are 3-year-olds or 4 and up, which have never won 320 is the tag. And you are on the inside. Lights of Broadway, taking on older horses for the first time.
Yep, could be a bit of a tough task. I kind of wanted to stay away from the race a lot of these are coming out of. Was my biggest thing in this spot here. Going to try going back to the Tapeta again after trying way stronger on the dirt. It was a sloppy track. This horse has both career wins came from the Tapeta here. I'm willing to give this horse a shot. And the blinkers go off, which Pete Walter has kind of tampered with back and forth. I get the last 2 efforts. They weren't anything to write home about, but I do like the fact that Edwin Gonzalez is back aboard. He's familiar with this horse. Yeah.
While you were eating pasta over there, Nautical Star almost won the Gallant Bob.
Yeah. How
Grade
about
2
that?
Gallant Bob up at Parks. He ran very, very well.
Very
That's who
well.
beat Lights of Broadway last
Okie bread.
time. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Now he beat him by a football field, but still, it does flatter him a little bit. Let's show Surrogate and A Rose to Raven. Uncle Armando is out of this race, the 5, but he was in here. Here's Rose for Raven on the lead. Surrogate's the 2. My thinking is if A Rose for Raven couldn't win this race, I think he's got to work harder early on, too. That's why I put Surrogate on top. I think the flow of this race is a little better. There's some speed in this race. Today.
Yes, there is. Both of these horses, to me, are just... Surrogate is interesting because this horse never really seems like he wants to do any type of running. He just kind of lobs around there. And he has got it done on the Tapeta before. That was under Patrick Biancone. They claimed this horse 2 starts back. I'm just not a huge fan.
Well, his best races are better than these. You got to give him that.
Fair enough.
Jen Young claimed him 2 back, and she got some improvement out of him. Maybe he's that cycle back horse
That's true.
that you like to talk about. He's no great shakes. I get it, but if we can get a decent little number on him,
you never know.
You never know. He's playable. Rose for Raven certainly in the mix, but we just showed you right there. If he's not going to wire that that field. There's more pace in here, too.
He might have trouble.
Yeah, he might have trouble. Here, the finale, race number 8, 12-5. Maiden Claimer, 6.5 on that main track that we would like to think would be fast. A lot sooner than 4:17 in the PM. A full field of 10 here. We're kind of a little bit all over the place. Lazzarone, not a bad thing to be a first-time starter in this group.
Yeah, exactly. This group, to be honest, is just kind of, I mean, this is the lowest level maiden claiming we run for, so they are indeed that. A lot of these have had their chances, and they're starting to stack up. Lazzarone, this horse is what he is. I like the fact that he's gelded. I don't like the fact that the last 3 works have been from the gate.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Worrisome, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit interesting here. Sometimes they can, if you get them like that in the gate, they can maybe almost get a little complacent in there. But they look like they tried to run him last year. He was working here, and then he went to the bench for a little bit. So I just think that you just said it best. There's this first-time starter in here. He's got the most upside.
Yeah, he's the big beast, big field, down towards the inside. I wonder if that might be a little tricky for him, too. I will say this, and I showed the stat last week while you were gone. The stat says Victor is 6% in maiden claimers. I showed it last week. I kind of extrapolated it out the past 5 years. He's like 15, 16% on the dirt maiden claimers. It's a lot better than what you're reading and what it looks like. Yeah, exactly. And if the money shows a little bit here, that's a positive as well. Uncaptured Tiger, I mean, it's right there in front of you. He makes a lot of sense. He's not yet one of those lifetime maidens that Samantha kind of hinted at. He's run just 4 times. Dirt races were fine.
Yeah, they are. And he's getting a little bit of he's cutting back again, which I think that's probably going to be better for him in the long run.
Antonio's throwing something at the wall with big envelope. I don't know if dirt and 1 turn are in there.
No,
but he woke up a little bit last time.
He did, and I thought that, I mean, this horse is a half to the Irish Guineas winner, Phoenix of Spain. So, this horse was gelded. I mean, this is just like, this horse is quite interesting here. I think longer is I think he needs to be longer. Maybe they're hoping somebody's going to take him this time.
Yeah, longer and maybe some green stuff coming in the months here.
There you go,
at Gulfstream Park. So that's it. 8 of them for you. It's a good solid card today. Don't forget that Rainbow 175. Let's take a look at the lightning round. We've got a lot going on here. It's a good one as well. I put this together. No, maybe not.
Just pat yourself on the back there.
No coincidence or not. As we always do, we'll take a look at the standings here. And Edgard was, he got hurt, unfortunately. He was bopping around, and he's kind of thrown the gauntlet down here and said, you know what, I'm going to win this title.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
Good momentum leading up into the championship meet.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, Lionel caught fire a little bit last week, had a multiple-win day. Good to see, and it's only a matter of time.
Yeah,
Amicio, exactly, Amicio as well. Take a look at the trainer standings, and I don't know if Jose can hold this because Safi wins everything around here, but he's got a little cushion in here, and the barn has just been white out. Look at Victor, too. That's a good number for Victor because he's not throwing waves out there like the other two.
Yeah, and Safi and as well as Jose, Safi's been running horses everywhere.
Graded stakes with that filly last week.
Oh, just amazing, accomplished girl winning at Presque Isle. Yeah, we like her a lot, and Honored the Lady at Oklahoma Derby. Yep, sorry, wrong filly, but both good. But yeah, so these are trainers that they've been running horses elsewhere, and I think as we get closer to the championship meet, we'll maybe see it tighten up because they're bringing horses back.
Absolutely. Remington Park Oaks, right? I think that's what she won.
Yep.
Yeah. So
congrats
there, and just the depth of Safi's barn. I think that's exactly what it is. Your best bet today?
It is Infamous No. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 10-1. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm not 10-1.
That's okay.
With full Nelson.
Yeah,
in
you had
race
to go.
4.
Yeah, that's logical.
Dueling long shots for us. We might not get them though because of a scratch, but we're both in race 6.
Oh wait.
Infamous. Oh, wait, that's your best bet?
That was, I know, which is interesting. Right. Yeah, but it was, I'm Cajun Asp.
Okay.
Asp?
You might get about 9 to 5.
I know. It's not going to be.
I am in the race that Samantha's got her best bet. Excuse me. And I am with Bella Future. So there we go there. Way up. We've got big doings here. Of course, next Saturday is the Grade 3 Princess Rooney. A win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup filly and mare sprint, and our old buddy Mary Quake-Concheri is going to lead the way, I think. So cool.
Yeah, very cool. She gets back to her home ground. I think that will help quite a bit.
Yeah, here she comes storming through on the outside and winning the Grade 2. This is the inside information. We were screaming like heck for her. They've done such a good job. They took her up to Saratoga. Couldn't quite make a dent up there, but they're going to know she's in the Princess Rooney. I promise you that. You and I have both been eagerly awaiting our sister track is opening today, Santa Anita.
Yeah, very exciting stuff going on there. And how about that?
Top line is
the dollar pick 6 is back there. This is so exciting. I can't wait to dig into it after we finish a winning day here, Brian.
Yeah, it's huge doings. No more jackpot out there. The dollar pick 6. We like that a lot. It's a huge meet. A lot of Breeders' Cup preps. A lot of win and you're in. That's the way of there. You see that there. Automatic qualifiers. They'll kick off today. I don't know if you looked at it or not. I was looking at it in the office talking to Ed. The Awesome again tomorrow is awesome.
It is,
really
a
good.
very strong group. Great racing there at our sister track, and safe trips and good luck to everybody over there for opening day.
So Safi unleashed another one last week while you were gone. Candy Gray. Whew, look out. I mean, he's got our the Fleet filly that won again on Friday. She was good, but Candy Gray, watch her level off.
Oh, yeah. Our Harper's Rose.
Rose.
She probably would have won that stake that she had to scratch out of, unfortunately. But yeah, Safi's just really separating himself, and he's got a lot of horses. He's got a good team behind him, and I know you and I are both very big fans of him and his horses. And I'm afraid we're not ever going to see Accomplished Girl back again. Accomplished Gal.
She's probably going other places than here, at least until the championship meet. We'll see. Hey, happy birthday to Mom today, right?
Yeah, happy birthday, Mom. Yep, we're going to put you in lightning round, but we'll put you at the end of it. She watches us every weekend and gives us outfit compliments. So thank you, Mom.
All right. Pete's upstairs. Not a lot to do today. We like that. We'll see you back here for the opener, and we're happy to have you aboard.